Hello there everybody, this is Grant, also known as the Collector 75, and welcome to another Transformers Power of the Primes review. Now, I actually did my first Power of the Primes that I can remember just earlier on, and that was some of the Prime Master figures, I believe. I've got one or two more coming up, but this one is for a set of figures that, to be fair, I wasn't actually planning on doing. But I kind of wanted to because they are pretty cool. So I'm doing them. Everybody's done these figures, so I'm not going to concentrate on the transformation so much. I'm just going to show the figures and why I like them and what I don't like about them and just general sort of stuff like that, really. We are going to start here with, I'm not going to show the box either because everyone's seen the box. The box is pretty damn cool, it's pretty big. I'm never going to fit it in front of this camera like this. So again, I'm just concentrating on these figures. I haven't got all the weapons on them, but we'll come to that as we get to them. So let's start here with Razor Claw. Now, Razor Claw. Is this better than the Generation 1? Yes, it is. Razor Claw Generation 1 was a brick that had hardly any articulation. This has got more articulation. We can move the legs a bit more. Everything. We can now rotate these guns out so he can shoot people. He's got his mouth that opens up, and he's got some nice red eyes on there. And he is pretty cool. Now, he does, though, look a little blocky. He has no tail. The back end leaves a lot to be desired, but this is where, unfortunately for me, or I suppose maybe for Hasbro as well, this is where they all have been compromised. The robot modes are pretty good for the most part, but it's the animal modes, apart from maybe Dive Bomb, that have got the biggest compromises, which is a shame because obviously the alt modes are important. I think at the moment Hasbro seem to be having a bit of a problem with alt modes on sort of animal stuff. Like if you look at the Masterpiece Dinobot figure and the Cheetor, I mean, the robot modes are brilliant. Those animal modes, they're just, I know they've got to make compromises somewhere because everything can't be perfect, but that's where they always struggle. Cars are easy because they're just angular blocks that's easy to hide stuff, whereas obviously animals have to be odd shapes and stuff, so it's harder. And especially when you're doing cutting back on money, and so you've got big gaping holes everywhere, it's even harder still, I suppose. But there we go. But he's still a lovely looking lion. I love the mane. This is all painted. I haven't put none of the stickers on. I don't know if I will, mainly because I just don't have the time. And I'm not too keen on some of those foil stickers. They don't do it for me. But that is a brilliant mane. I love that gold. Now he does have his Prime Master. I can't remember who he comes with. Is it Onyx Prime? He's in there. I'll show that off in robot mode. As it goes though, that is pretty cool. Then we're going to come to this, which I loosely call Rampage. Now, he doesn't look too bad. Now, from some of those, when I was a kid anyway, some of the pictures of Rampage in the comics, this ain't too far from it, if you want my opinion. But it's got gaping holes. I mean, mind you, I've got these straight out of the box. Maybe they're mistransformed. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think so, though. This is a back leg. These are front legs. It just looks a bit disjointed. The back just looks like, well, I don't know what it looks like really, but it just doesn't look very good. But then again, I suppose they were thinking no one's going to be looking at the back. So, but other than that, it's not, they've tried to go for that G1 look, and they've sort of got there. Then again, the G1 won, but then again, it was G1. Anyway, right, let's come on to this guy, which is Headstrong. He's pretty good. Now, to be honest, him and Tantrum, or Turox, whatever you want to call him, they ain't too bad. I mean, let's look at this. He's a big, strong, what is he, like a, I don't know, is he a, there's a bull. He's a rhinoceros, yeah. So he looks all right, apart from this gaping thing under him. If it weren't for that, he would look brilliant. That is a bit of an eyesore. They've done their best to cover it up, and it had to go somewhere. So it went there. But luckily he's a big bullish character, so it sort of works, and the head sculpt's all right. Then again, the original Generation 1 toy was probably one of the weakest of the bunch, but there we go. So that is Headstrong if he stands up. Then we're going to come to Tantrum, which is almost exactly the same figure, just a few different minor alterations, like the head and everything. Got a weird head. I would have preferred it if this bit on the head there had been painted red, because it does look like he's wearing some sort of hat. The mouth doesn't open, which is a shame, but he don't look too bad. Still, there we go. And even though you do get a sticker set, some of these Decepticon insignias are printed on, which is kind of cool. Then we're going to come probably to my favourite, which is the best of the bunch, but only one minor irritation. Let me just push these to the back so we can fit them on. And this is Dive Bomb. And now this nails it for me. The wings, everything, the head sculpt is amazing, and you can open the beak and he looks exactly like he did in those comics. I love it. I love it. And the feet, great. You can move these down so you can perch him. He looks great. I love it. The back, this just seems a bit blocky. If they'd made these look like proper thrusters, I think that would have been pretty cool. But it's pretty good. Like I say, I don't have the stickers, given the gold wing tips and everything like that. But other than that, now the only thing I don't like about that is the placement of these guns. I have no idea why they couldn't have just put a port here. You know, whether you see ports put all over toys these days. Yeah, this is a good idea, because I'll do a video on this one soon. This is the Combiner Blast Off new one. Here's got two gaping holes where his chest is. You know, if they can do that, why on earth can't they just put one here? Because these guns, especially like the original Generation 1 toy, had his guns right here, roughly. And that, for me, would have been ever so much better. I am tempted to drill a hole, probably just around here somewhere, if I can figure out the best place. Like a 5mm peg hole, and just stick them there, because I think it would look a hell of a lot better. Right. Other than that, this guy, for me, is a clear winner. Right, so then, that has done it for the Beast mode. So let's move on to the Robot modes. Right, so here we have them, all in Robot mode. And if I'm honest, this is where they start to shine. I am going to start here with Razorclaw, because he is pretty cool. One thing that is a bit annoying on this set is that they don't come with their little gold swords like they did in the G1. Hopefully, well, there probably is a third-party set that's going to come with all the swords and some big sword for Predaking. But they do come with a few guns. This one, well, Razorclaw comes with this gun, which doesn't really stay in his hand too well, if I'm honest. So I'm going to take it off before it falls off. But this robot mode is great. Now, I got this out of the box for the first time yesterday, and I transformed this guy into robot mode. You don't really need instructions really to get these guys into robot mode, to be honest. They're pretty easy. And you know what? I was taken right back to when I first saw the Predacons a long time ago, back in, what was it, issue 90 something, 95, 96, 97, something like that, of the UK comic. And I remember where the Predacons were introduced, and then this guy is probably one of the first Predacons you see, which is Razorclaw. And it just took me right back, because they just nailed it. They just, don't get me wrong, there's a few compromises, like you got hollow legs and everything like that, but as toys go, this guy just looks amazing. I just really like it. You know, you've got decent articulation, you've got knee joints, ankle tilts. You know, this guy is going to stand up. You know, you've got thigh swivels, everything like that. You've got just good. One thing for me that they could have made an improvement on is these guns. Still better than the G1, but if you could have just had angle guns roughly this size, just that you could tilt forwards, that would have been great, just like the comics had. Other than that, I love him. I just think he's brilliant. Love this guy. Like I say, you can have the head look up, down, all around, and it's such a good, just simple head sculpt. I love it. And of course, he does come with his Onyx Prime, and then you just lift up the animal head, and he is in there, and then you can see the Onyx Prime. I'm not a big fan of having these guys come with exclusive sets and stuff, because I think sometimes these days, you know, you need to encourage children to get into these toys, and the Prime Masters were a good thing for children to collect, right? Maybe not if you're in the UK, because good luck finding them. But you know, they're a simple pocket money sort of toy, really, and you know, you get some children that are into Transformers and they think, oh, I know, I'll try and collect the whole lot of them. Oh no, I can only get a certain ones with like the San Diego Optimus Primal bloke, and they just want silly money for it, you know, and that could easily turn off children towards them. But you know, that's just me. But there we go. So I'm not a big fan of that. So hopefully they'll bring them out as some other sets in the future. That would be good. Don't get me wrong, I want that San Diego one, but I'm not paying how much they want for it. I can go take a run and jump. There we go. You'll probably see me with it next week. Anyway, right, so the next one we're going to come to is Rampage. Now, Rampage is definitely better than his Beast Mode, but still not as good as Razor Claw. It's all right. I think the head sculpt could have been better. You've got a lot of red plastic and orange paint with black eyes. Nothing really stands out, unfortunately. Maybe if you put the stickers on, it might be better. You know, but for me, it's... And that gun don't want to stay... To be honest, I'm having trouble getting any of the guns in their hands to stay really well. He's okay. He does have the giant, weirdest backpack going, but there we go. But he's not too bad. I can live with him. Right, then we're going to come to this big fella. This is Tantrum, and he is a big stocky robot. Now, I actually thought these are all Voyager size, but I've got a Voyager toy here, or the newest equivalent of a Voyager. We've got Studio Series Brawl, and you can see he towers above Voyager toys, so they're actually almost all, apart from maybe Rampage, that you could call these leader class figures, but you know, so that ain't too bad, is it really? We're going to pop him back over there, and we're going to continue with this guy. So this guy is not too bad. He's big, brawny. The only thing bad about him, he's got this giant thing stuck off his back. But, you know, I can live with it because he's a big, burly geezer. Let's stick him over there. And then we're going to come to his, pretty much his counterpart, which is Headstrong. Again, almost exactly the same toy, just obviously slightly moulded differences and everything like the head and what have you. Again, he's got that sticking off him, so there's not much you can do there. But again, he's a big burly toy, and good, solid, like him. And then again, now where he was my favourite in Beast Mode, in Robot Mode, he's just behind this guy. I love the head sculpt. Love the guns. Again, the guns don't really want to stay in his hands too well. I just love a place where you could just sort of put them up here somewhere. So a hole maybe there, I don't know. The wings just look too big for him. I love those Decepticons that have been printed on there. But it's just, the wings seem too big for this toy. But that's obviously because they're trying to go for the big wings for Predaking. But it's still a good toy. It's still really good. Would I get rid of these? Sorry, get rid of my Generation 1 for these? Oh, I don't know. Something about those Generation 1 toys that are pretty good. Right, okay, so that's that. I'm going to now combine all these into Predaking, and I shall see you in a moment. Well, what can I say? I think I'm in love with this figure. I think in its combined mode, it is absolutely brilliant. Now, I know you can only see the bottom of its legs, but it's just simple. It's simply designed, and it's just really good. It's such a good figure. I'm going to pick this up. Sorry if it gets a bit shaky, but we get up here, and it just looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really, other than it's very cleverly designed, and you can see where the compromise is in like Rampage's Beast Mode, you know, went to make just way for this. Now, I did actually have it mistransformed because I just took it out of the box and assumed, you know, that would be the proper transformation for it, but it wasn't. I think I might have done the same with Dive Bomb. I'm not totally sure there. So forgive me if I did say it was a load of rubbish in Beast Mode, but it probably wasn't going to get a lot better than that. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. Now, one big gripe I don't like about it, I think a few other people have said about it as well, is the fact that we got Dive Bomb over this side and he really should be over this side. Now, you can actually swap them out. It's not a problem. You just take them out of their things, swap them around, swap the hands around, and done. The problem is that it's these two guns here. You got this one and this one. Now, they go into little ports on the back of these pieces, and if you swap them around, suddenly the hole is on this side, and they have neglected to do any holes. Now, you could probably, if you wanted to fix it yourself, you could drill some holes, some 5mm holes, and swap them around. Or, which I might try doing, it depends on how it is, you could probably unscrew these parts that you come with Dive Bomb and Rampage, take them apart, swap them over, put them back together. At the moment, I can't see any problems with that, but that allow you then to have the correct, well, Dive Bomb on this side and still being able to have these guns, or just don't have the guns and you're fine. One of the two. Either that, it's still a great figure. I love this. Just simply done. It is just simply done. There's no more to say about it other than that, really. He's super posable. He stands under his own weight. It is just great. Right, I'm going to stop this video here for 1 second. I'm going to bring in a couple of size comparisons. Actually, I'm going to do one very quickly. Here is Blastoff. And as you can see with a regular figure there. Actually, I do have Bruticus here. Hold on 1 second. Here is the regular Combiner Wars Bruticus. As you can see, he comes just up to his midsection. And that is another thing I don't like about these figures, is that we've got, you know, Transformers now in different size categories, really. It's a little bit hard. What I also forgot to mention about the individual figures is that they're quite big, and suddenly they outscale some other sort of classics figures, really. It's a bit of a shame. But, you know, that is in scale because it should be bigger. But now he's outscaled by Brute, you know, and it just gets a bit annoying, really. Anyway, right, I'm going to bring in a few other size comparisons. Right, so here we have the, I can't remember his name now, is it the Mastermind Creations Feral Rex? But this is obviously the KO slightly oversized version. And as you can see, the Combiner, well, Prime Power of the Primes, Predaking, does actually just outdo him on height. So he's actually a bit bigger. Which one do I prefer? I probably prefer the Power of the Primes, to be honest. This one looks exceptionally not realistic, but it's detailed. And it just looks good. Now, I did put the upgrade set that you can get for it. It just looks really good. There's my hamster down here somewhere. You can see her sleeping just down there in a corner, because it's only sort of like midday-ish here, really. Anyway, yeah, aside from that, sorry about that. Yeah, it just looks really, really good. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, right, so that's that one. I'm going to bring in a different one. And here he is with the Combiner Wars Devastator. As you can see, he's literally exactly the same scale. Which one do I prefer? Probably Predaking, if I'm honest. I just think Predaking just has something on Devastator. Perhaps it's because Devastator was, you know, he's a couple of years old now, so they've had a bit of time to learn to make things slot together easier on Predaking or something, I don't know. But, I mean, Devastator is still a great looking figure. Look at that. I mean, he just looks brilliant. But there's something about Predaking. He just looks great as well. Right, there you go. So that is Power of the Primes Predaking. A great, great figure. I think it's great. I mean, it's compromised in certain bits, obviously the animal modes and stuff, but it's still worth your money. Is it worth the 150 that most places want for it? Don't know. It's a hard one to say, because look what happened to Triptychon. Triptychon was 150, and you could pick that up under £100 at the end. If you were really lucky, you could have got it for 50 or even 20 quid that I saw it for online. But you never know. If you're lucky, it could sell out. It could be hard to come by. I don't know. It's a hard one to fathom, really. Anyway, right, this has been Graham, the Collector 75. I shall see you all next time. Bye for now. Don't forget, you can support my channel using links below. You can follow me on Instagram at the Collector 75, and of course, you can rate, share, and like this video. Bye for now. And just for a laugh, I found the Nero Feral Rex sword, the oversized one, and he can just about hold it. The hand isn't actually strong enough, and it's going to topple over any second. But I thought I just want to show that off. It does look pretty cool with that sword. And he needs a sword. I can't find my Crazy Debbie sword that I bought for my G1 Predaking. If I can find that, I think it would look pretty good with that. Anyway, right, this has been Graham, the Collector 75. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.